Welcome to Press Play Again. 2 roommates, 1 remote. The rewatch podcast where we dive back into the shows and movies we couldn't stop talking about in college and probably still can't. We're your hosts, Anna and Megan, 2 roommates with 1 remote, ready to laugh, debate, and maybe get a little too nostalgic as we revisit the classics and discover a few favorites along the way. So grab your popcorn, press play, and hang out with us as we rewind it all, episode by episode, movie by movie.
How do you feel?
I feel like this one left me kind of neutral.
Okay, before we get into any episode, though, I do just want to talk about James Van Der Beek for a second.
Yes, true.
I cried multiple times.
I'm sorry.
It is so sad.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to know these people to have compassion and death is permanent. So whether they're famous and you've never met them or they're your best friend down the road, like, it's so sad. But I have hundreds of comments on TikTok of people saying how much Dawson's Creek meant to them, and the soundtrack and the storylines and Dawson himself. And we can feel however we want to about Dawson, that's not the point.
Sure.
But just how it hit everybody in the same age category, basically. Like millennials, Gen X.
Right.
Even though it's a resurgence now, it's like he was the teenager of a lot of people's teenage years. Like, so it's just so sad. But what I've really noticed is that, like, this is why I love TV. This is what I've been trying to convey. Like, everybody feels connected when you have this common love for a show or a movie or a character or whatever. And you just feel like you're connected with the people. Like, I feel like the people who are commenting on my video are my friends. I'm like, I know, I want to comfort you too. Like, it's so everybody kind of, it feels almost like we're all in this together type thing. And I thought, what's it going to be like watching an episode now, knowing like he's passed away? But honestly, and I don't want to start right away on the episode, but honestly, watching it, I did not watch it as with the sadness of James Van Der Beek has died. Because to me, when I'm watching it, he is Dawson.
Right.
Who is very much alive and well. So, which, again, whatever the red flags of Dawson and however we feel, really, it's like, that's just good acting that I can forget that the person who's played him is actually just passed away a couple days ago. And I'm just watching it as Dawson.
Right.
He played it really well.
He did.
So, again, it doesn't matter that we're still going to disagree with things of Dawson.
Correct.
I didn't as much in this episode. I'll say my parts of that, but that does not take away anything. So anything that's ever said about Dawson does not take anything away from James Van Der Beek. We've said that from the very beginning.
Correct.
So I don't want that to ever be misconstrued or, confused in any way. But it just feels really sad a little bit and it was just the sickness that just was brutal.
It is.
But,
well, you had texted me, and a couple hours later, I think, my mom sent me a screenshot of something she had seen on Instagram and was like, "Did you know that he died?" And I was like, "Yes." And Catherine texted me earlier. She was like, "It's so sad." And she doesn't watch the show.
It's so sad.
It is sad. And I mean, we know how sadly he was suffering. And, what I texted you back, I'm glad that they did the whole like reunion and such at a time that he was able to see it and hopefully feel some of that, how much the fans still love and celebrate him and the show and so much before his passing, anyway, it was very sad.
Yeah. And even just all the other, I have not seen a lot of movies he's been in, I will be completely honest, but One Tree Hill, he was in One Tree Hill. There was a movie that came out a couple years ago and a sequel, and he was the dad in it, and so I did watch it, and it was really good. And he actually is in the Legally Blonde prequel, Elle, that's going to be about Elle Woods before Reese Witherspoon's character of Elle. They're doing a little prequel series. He's in that. It comes out this summer.
Aww.
So that'll be really cool too. But
that will be cool.
It's like I torture myself by reading all the different tributes to him and everything because it just is so sad. But
you grow an attachment to these people.
Yes.
I mean, I know what it's been like if certain artists that I love passed, like music artists. That has been hard.
That's true. But it's true. Well, I can speak for myself. If there is a show that I have watched, I say show because I grow more attached to the people in shows because it's longer running. But if there's a show I watch and I really love it, anything that those actors are in, I'm going to watch.
All right.
One Tree Hill, I've seen just about anything that they're in because even if it's, James Lafferty's pickleball movie this Christmas was not the greatest.
I didn't even know he had one.
Yeah, it was a Hallmark. A pickleball Christmas or something like that. Oh, he looks great in it. You should watch it just for that. That's the only reason we watched it.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I didn't know that he had that. I'm sure he did.
He looks great. That's literally the only reason we watched it.
He's always,
because the storyline is like, but I'm
gonna
watch.
Hallmark movie.
I'm gonna watch when my people are in it.
I know.
So
same.
Okay, let's dive in though. The synopsis for episode 4. Are you ready?
Sure.
Tamara Jacobs, the former Cape Side High English teacher who left town to avoid a scandal after her affair with Pacey was almost exposed, shares an awkward reunion with him as she's temporarily back as a real estate agent who was trying to sell Mitch a warehouse which he hopes to open his own restaurant. The encounter triggers old emotions in Pacey and curiosity in Andy, who asks Dawson for advice on Pacey's likes and dislikes. Meanwhile, Joey finds a new joy in art and takes the time visiting a gallery with Jack, who shares her newfound love, but Dawson does not have the same interest. Also, Abby tries to get Jen to help her flirt with an attractive fisherman named Vincent, who rejects Abby's overplayed advances, but accepts Jen's more softer approach. This episode aired on October 28th, 1998. It has a popularity rating of 97 out of 128 and an IMDb user rating of 50 out of 128. We do have a run of the next several episodes being very low ranked episodes, I will go ahead and say.
Yeah.
But there have been episodes that have been lower ranked on IMDb, and we have liked them better than others. So we are not biased by what they tell us. So
I usually don't agree with them anyway.
Yeah. I got hung up in the synopsis because it says that Tamara is back in town as a real estate agent. And so I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense why she's selling a warehouse. But then rewatching it again, no, she owned that warehouse and she is the one selling it. Why does she own a warehouse?
I was wondering that the whole episode.
When I first rewatched this morning before you got here, I wrote it down. I was like, why does she own this warehouse? But then I read the synopsis where it says that, and I thought, oh, okay, that makes more sense. Rewatching it now, though, I'm like, no, she's not there as a real estate. I feel like
there's some kind of comment about real estate in there, but I don't know that she's the one that says it. Like, I think it may be Mitch that's talking about real estate or something.
He's trying to buy it. Yeah.
Right. So, I don't know.
But when he comes to visit the warehouse with her, and the way she's talking about, I'm probably not supposed to say this, but I'm anxious to sell. That would be her selling it. She would be the one accepting that offer. If she was just the agent, she might be anxious to get it sold for her client, but they've got to accept whatever offer it is. So
I don't know. I mean, it would make more sense in the way of, and this is going to jump to make this comment, but if she was there strictly real estate capacity, not that she owned it, it would make a little more sense why Pacey makes the comment to her, asking, does she miss teaching?
Yeah.
And, she's admitting that she does, and he misses her. He says he misses her teaching. It would make more sense if that's the case, because you almost wonder, what has she been doing? I just assumed she'd moved to another school and was teaching there.
Surely she would not be able to get another job.
Surely not.
But I don't think he meant teaching.
No.
He was asking if she missed him.
Correct. I know, but I'm just using the words of what was said.
But yeah, I don't know that what she's been doing. I don't care.
It would still imply that she's not teaching, though.
Yes.
So
him or anyone else,
I know.
she should not be.
No.
Okay. While we're on it with them, I relate to this not in the least.
No.
I did, we'd have a problem.
Yes.
But point out that she's 39, 40, whatever, I think we figured out last season. We're in the same decade, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Pacey, when he goes to the warehouse, and we just see the silhouette of him, and he's got on, I will say, I do think the fashion is getting better overall. Like, it feels like more intentional with their characters. But he is still a 16-year-old in his denim shorts and this button-up shirt and his brown sandals.
I know.
Okay? Even in the 90s, someone her age should not look at someone like that and go, yes.
I know. No.
Who does that? Because the teachers that I have known that have done this before, it's been more about like the power of it and getting away with it than it is about the actual student and that they are truly attracted and want something serious with them. More times than not, personal experience, like ones I've known. Not that I've known a lot, but there have been a couple. And I just don't think that it's more plausible that Andy is looking at him going,
well, yeah.
Because she, like Dawson says, Andy's a girl.
Yeah.
I loved that.
I did too.
When he says, she's a girl. And Pacey's like, but Tamara's a woman. But you're a boy. Okay?
Yeah.
So I just got to get through with the Tamara thing of it all because I'm ready for her to go. We got one more episode of her. One more. But I'll lose my place if I keep going along this line. So let's just go to the beginning and we'll get back to that because I'll lose my train of thought if not. We open up at night. Dawson and Joey are making out.
It's not. I was going to say, it's not in his room.
Not in his room. It's at the ruins. We sat right there on those steps where they're rolling around making out.
Very true. Very true.
But this is also the place where he wanted to engineer his first kiss.
Correct.
With Jen. But that's what I noticed first. But she does. They have this whole conversation. She wants a little bit more of a romantic setting, and she's the one that says to him, "Dawson, you're so cheesy," which he is.
Yeah.
But he gets very insecure at that comment. He doesn't like with Jen when she calls him out on trying to engineer the perfect kiss, and he backs himself up and he defends himself in that. With this situation, when she says you're so cheesy, he immediately changes, his whole facial expression changes, and he gets insecure and he's like, do you not like that? And we're seeing a shift in Dawson. And because however long it took him to figure out his feelings for Joey, he has caught up to them. And I think he does take it more, he holds it more seriously because of the past that they have.
He's starting to, at least.
And so he's a little, I think that he wants Joey to see him as, he wants to impress her, essentially, is what he's saying. But again, he kind of lives in the past with this.
I don't know that he's capable of not living in the past, truthfully. But, Yeah, I agree.
I mean, and that we have that conversation throughout this episode of like this is how we used to be. This is I want us to get back to who we are. And Joey even has multiple comments of I don't like who we were, and this
right.
So it's this whole theme of his relationship with her is he's basing it off of what it always has been instead of growing into what it could be, which is the ultimate downfall of that relationship. And this episode is the beginning of the end.
Yes, I could feel that.
Yeah.
And I'm ready for it.
I am too. My perspective has changed a bit. Not fully, because Dawson is still not my favorite character. This episode, though, I felt for him a little bit. Throughout it, I can tell you exactly why. And I know that there's going to be parts where you disagree, and that's totally fine, obviously. But this is a shocker for me, even how I felt through this episode. Because, just a few ago, anything he would say, I wanted to punch a wall.
Right.
This one, I can understand some parts. Maybe it'll make more sense.
I'm with you.
Miss Jacobs walks up because once again the next scene before school.
I don't know how they have time to do any of this stuff.
No. When I was in school, I could barely make it out of the door to get there on time.
Same.
And then when I finally started getting up earlier and going to eat breakfast before, we still were barely on time.
Yeah.
What are y'all doing walking around downtown?
How many businesses are actually open that early before school?
Right.
Because it would be well before 8 a.m.
They had to start like 8:30, 9 o'clock. Or we're just not supposed to question it.
I think we're not supposed to question it.
There's a lot of things that I'm not supposed to question on television, and I do. I'm the one going, that doesn't make sense.
I mean, let's be honest. Logistically speaking, this could have been an afternoon. If they wanted to make this make sense, they could have done this in an afternoon setting, allowed that encounter to take place, and then the next morning they went to school, and yeah, that would have even worked. Like it's just dumb, but
we continue having these moments where it did not happen in season 1. So it's like, or we did not pick up on it, which I can't see that you and I would not pick up on it if it was happening in season 1. I just didn't.
I feel like we had a couple of things towards the end of the season that we questioned, but this one has been much worse.
Yes, of like the continuity of it all. It's like, what? Just stop going to school, I guess. Make your episodes completely on the weekend,
or summertime at this point. Like, let school out.
I mean, it's so. Anyways, we're not supposed to question it. It's fictional. But Miss Jacobs happens to be the one that walks up because Mitch is trying to still buy a place for his restaurant that he has been talking about since season 1.
He has.
And Miss Jacobs happens to be the one that's selling the warehouse, whether she's the owner or the real estate agent. We don't know. Your guess is as good as ours. But Mitch has googly eyes.
He does.
I didn't feel that later on in the episode when he was like at the warehouse with her. But right now, in the beginning of the episode, he was looking at her with some googly eyes.
I feel like maybe I can't remember what is said in that scene. Does he know who she is, or like the history in that moment, or is it that he figures that out between the two?
I don't remember. It didn't feel like he knew.
I didn't get the impression that he knew at the beginning.
But how would you not know? From like in season 1 when it all started, I guess it didn't all come out because it got denied. Pacey went to court and all this, but it's still your son's best friend. I can't imagine his parents not hearing the rumors because this is supposed to be a small town.
Correct, and everybody's supposed to have their opinions of Pacey and everything else.
So I can't imagine that he wouldn't already know.
I don't know. Maybe I just kind of got the impression that at the least that maybe it didn't click at that moment, and then he put 2 and 2 together. And especially if you put into context of the way that this episode plays out, you've got Pacey who comes to Dawson's house, who was just speaking with his dad, and Pacey's trying to confide in Dawson about feelings that have resurfaced. it doesn't give the impression that Mitch overhears anything.
Yeah.
But there's some element of that or to that kind of made me feel like maybe he didn't know or remember, or it just didn't click at the beginning, and now that's information that he's recalled.
Like maybe he didn't know. He realizes when Dawson says Miss Jacobs that
Correct.
that's the teacher, and then he puts it together. Yeah, could very well be, but Dawson has to leave to go to school.
Yes.
And whatever. So Pacey, he catches up with Pacey at school, and he is trying to tell him, which good for him. He, as his friend, he is trying to give him a little fair warning that she is back in town.
Yes, but Pacey didn't give him the time of day.
Pacey does not, because granted, in the past couple episodes, we have seen Pacey at his wit's end with Dawson and his problems with Joey, or his dramatic life that is literally the end of the world. And so he's just, Dawson says he has something to tell him, or he has a secret or a problem or something.
Yeah.
And so Pacey just automatically assumes that it is about Joey. And granted, I don't blame him.
I don't either.
I mean, with the way it's been going the past couple episodes, that is valid. And so that's why he's like brushing it off. Her locker, of course, is with Pacey's. But in this moment, Andy and Dawson don't even acknowledge each other. So we know that she is not in this friend group yet.
No. And
it is further told to us when she goes to Dawson's house later, but it's the beginning of it. I think the integration of these new friends is done in a natural progression.
I agree.
So I appreciate that. But Dawson does not want to say it in front of Andy. And so he leaves because he's busy that afternoon and he can't. I feel like he could have taken 2 minutes after school to tell him before going to meet up with Joey.
Or tried again to find him during school or during lunch.
Feels like a very important thing. But he doesn't. And so Pacey is oblivious that Homewrecker is back in town. And he, we keep cutting back and forth. But in this scene, like between people, not us, in this scene, I liked his outfit. Pacey's. It just...
I wasn't paying that close attention.
I liked all of their outfits for the most part in this episode. It just felt like their characters are being understood, and this is what these characters would wear, not just this is the time and this is the fashion and throw them in something. Like, it looks good on them. Joey, girl, that's my style. So I loved her shorts and her flannels over tank tops through the entire episode. Jen had some good moments, some not so good moments, but then some good ones. Dawson even, I don't like his sweater vest over his white t-shirt, but his outfit that he had on when Andy comes to his house, I thought looked good on him. So Pacey's little brown sandals and all, I think he is still so cute that but he's wearing clothes that fit him. Yeah. So he looks even scrawnier than he has before.
Agreed.
Which also plays into what in the world is this 40-year-old seeing in him? As much as we love Joshua Jackson and we swoon over Pacey.
Well, and keep in mind, too, Joshua Jackson aside, this is to imply that he, in the show, as his character is, he's just some average kid.
Yes.
He's not anything
special.
He's not affluent of any kind. He's not overly popular even, He's not some huge sports star. He's just your average 16-year-old.
But he gave her the time of day and made her feel special, and
it's disgusting. I can't go there. We've said that. And just like when she first showed up last episode, and I had forgotten she was coming, all that. And I forgot about it between our last recording and today. And when she was like, oh, I forgot. Yeah. I'm so ready for her to be back out of the picture because it's just, that's so repulsive to me. I can't go there.
I know. Well, okay. We've got more of her in this episode and we'll get to it. But Jack and Joey have a little conversation about they need to close the ice house because Bessie doesn't have a babysitter and Joey has something she has to do. Jack says that he can do it. aside from the fact that he's a klutz, he's a teenager who cannot open the restaurant and run it by himself.
No, he just got there, for crying out loud. And the fact that Joey ends up saying that he can, I don't remember ever hearing how it went.
No, I don't either.
So, like, that, to me, that was kind of a throwaway scene.
Yeah, I think it's just meant to put Joey and Jack together, and we see them together throughout this episode, and just to further emphasize that he's a klutz, I guess.
It was a throwaway scene to me.
He would never be running a restaurant even if he wasn't a klutz.
No.
Then we have Abby and Jen. Cafeteria. Jen looks ragged.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mean that in an ugly way.
No.
I just mean she looks like she would rather be curled up in the bed,
mm-hmm.
didn't want to leave the house that day, no energy, depressed.
Mm-hmm.
And later in the episode, she doesn't. So it's not like she's going back and forth between. Right now, she is still like in her feelings about feeling left out, as she says.
Yes.
And Abby is flashing her money that she got as her monthly allowance. I'm sorry, what does she do to deserve an allowance? Nothing.
No.
Nothing. She wants to go shopping. And she's trying to get Jen to go shopping with her, and Jen doesn't want to go because she wants to wallow all weekend.
Yeah.
And that's when Abby is like, God, it had the same feeling of God, why?
Yes,
she's like, is this still about Dawson?
Yes.
And then, of course it is.
Mm-hmm.
But what I take away from not this scene in particular, but just the scene with those two, Jack and Joey, Pacey and Andy, is that I like that the like friendships of these outer circles at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Not Abby. Not the character of Abby.
Right.
I like that we have main characters developing friendships outside the core group.
Mm-hmm.
These are like friends with one here, these individual characters, which really, to me, seems like a really great way to develop these characters outside of their friendship with Dawson, because that's how the show starts, is that all of these people are friends with Dawson, the main character.
Correct.
Now we get to see these individual characters grow into who they are and develop new friendships along the way.
It expands their storylines.
Yes, and you think they did it right.
Yes, and they're not forcing them down your throat in a full capacity. I mean, Abby's a little much to take.
You gotta have a villain, though. Tomorrow could have sufficed, but to be honest, because then we get rid of her. We'll get rid of Abby soon, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as we know, this is one of the first, because technically Dawson was there when Jack walked up at the ice house to get the job.
True.
But this is one of the first interactions Dawson has with Jack, and they don't even talk on the steps of the art museum. But so they are not being integrated into the full group yet. So I do like that, and we've harped on that enough, but I do like how it's going.
Yeah.
What I noticed about it, though, is that each of these friends have new friends except for Dawson.
Correct.
He's the only one who does not have a new person, because I think it further emphasizes how much in the past he lives.
Yes.
He doesn't want to step into what's new yet. I do think there comes a point where he does, but not yet. He's not there yet. He wants his bubble to stay the same.
Well, his only new friend, if you can call it that, would have been Jen in season 1.
Right. But
now it started as a love interest. So.
Yes. But now I look at her as a part of the main.
Well, she was always supposed to be. Yes. But
even though she doesn't feel like it right
now. No, she is still her own main character, whether she's in the group or not, because they developed it that way. But, if you're looking at it, that's his only, new friend that wasn't in the original core, or what's implied to be the original core group. So.
Yeah.
Still underscores what you're getting at.
Yeah, it's interesting. Pacey and Andy, she drops her videotapes that I can assume she went there before school to pick them up. That's why they're in her backpack. I don't know.
Didn't know that movie stores were open before 8 a.m.
Especially because the two people we see working there are also in school.
Yes, exactly.
My gosh, it's so funny. But she has 3 videotapes. I love video stores. So she has Dumbo, The Way We Were, and something else. Ghost, that's what he does. And he says that he loves Dumbo. And I'm gonna be honest, when he first said it, I thought he was just being sarcastic to her.
I did too. And I think she did.
For sure.
Yeah.
And then he continues and says he cried during it, and he even gives more detail about when he is made fun of for his ears and this, and he is such a lovable character. Everything about him. I won't say never. There are moments where I could wring his neck, but we'll get there, I'm sure. But he, in this scene, she still is giving like some sarcastic moments back to him. Yeah. He, though, is looking at her in a whole different light. It looks like. I mean, I think, in the past 2 episodes, episode 2 was his birthday party where they have that sweet moment at the end on the dock. And then the last episode was where they were partnered together and they have this real moment of it's not everything that it seems, and they make up and have kind of grown their friendship even more in that episode. And so this, I think he is starting to really see her as like that he likes being around her. He may not yet have feelings for her in
or
that
realize
way,
that he might. Yes.
He just knows he enjoys being around her. So he asks her to hang out.
Yes, I made a note that, he talks about loving Dumbo and then asks Fee to hang out today.
Because he has nothing better to do.
Yeah. And nobody else to ask? Or, I just think that he used that to his advantage.
For sure. And she thinks he's playing a joke on her.
Yes. And says, what are you going to do? Push me into traffic or something like that?
Interesting thought.
Yes.
I again said it since episode 1.
Yes.
I really love their friendship. I love it.
Witty banter is always good.
For sure. So we get to this art lecture. I notice Joey is enthralled. She is hanging on every word that Laura is saying. Dawson is about to fall asleep. Now, it would be easy for me to be upset at him about it, but I'm going to be honest, I completely get it. It's not his thing.
No.
And that's not the problem to me, is that he is trying to say what he's there with her. He's being supportive.
He's trying.
It's when they walk out where he's polite about it, but he just doesn't land, and he needs to just stop talking. When she asks him what he thought about it, he was being polite, but he should have just stopped there.
He should have.
He should have just been like, it was fine, and been done with it. But
I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Would have been a good thing to say.
Yes, yeah.
Acknowledge that you don't have to necessarily make it a point to make it blatantly known that you didn't care or enjoy or find it as interesting as somebody else. You can still basically say that in a more supportive and kind way by just saying, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And the tone of the way you make that statement can make or break what you're saying. Yes. Of course, I'm glad you enjoyed it. That's not what I'm saying. But there was a better way to have handled that.
Yeah, definitely.
But that just, to me, underscores his immaturity.
Yeah, it's the age.
As it's supposed to.
Yes. I kind of, in this, when he says that it's not his thing, the abstract is not his thing, I get it. I'm not an art person. So when I go look at one, I can appreciate that there was intention and thought behind it. I don't fully understand it, though. So I get that. Again, he should have just stopped, though.
He should have.
Because she is taking it, she's offended by it. Joey is.
Well, for what it's worth, I mean, I don't spend any time doing it. I do enjoy art and painting and artistic stuff. So my interpretation, or how I kind of felt about it, was if I were in Joey's shoes, movie making is its own art form. And there's a part of me that would have wanted or hoped that maybe he could appreciate some of that, even from an outsider perspective. But, it's not the same kind of art, obviously.
Yeah, right. But it is still all part of the art.
But him being artistic in that regard I would have hoped would have helped him somehow be a little bit more, I don't know. But anyway.
I get it. I get what you're saying.
That's what I'm getting at. As far as like in Joey's shoes, I would have felt a little hurt or upset and offended myself.
Yeah. Well, I like how what she says about it.
Yes.
I get what you're saying about would hope he would appreciate some of that, because it is all the arts, and appreciate that a different medium of art is still.
Movies are just as abstract as what they're doing.
Yes.
So
if he would have said, I can appreciate it, it's just not my thing. Fine. I do think that comes with maturity, though. It's a different conversation when you're 35 years old versus 15 years old. But he just should have stopped. He still is just trying to make it about himself.
Correct.
And I think that because even his movie making is really all about him. It's not even that he fully appreciates the art of directing and making movies. It's just that he likes it and wants to do it.
Well, that's to me, that's the whole theme of all of this. Is if it's not what Dawson wants in Dawson's way, it's no way.
Yeah.
It's always been that way. And that's what Joey has a hard time with, in my opinion, that she gets at in this episode. She's really coming to grips with the fact that that's not changing. And it doesn't, it's not going to. We can go ahead and say that.
And how she says it to him, you know, just because it's not what, I have always been your sidekick. She doesn't say it in this scene, she says it later, but she says, I've always been your sidekick. I've always helped you with your movies. And the way that she says it is what we're all thinking.
Yes.
She has been there for your art.
Yes.
She has supported it. Even when she was mad at you. She's doing something for herself.
Yes.
Which is the theme of this episode, where she finally comes out and says, I have to have something else for me.
And I mean, I feel like Dawson starts getting it later, you know, and starts feeling that you know, anxiety behind, oh, I kind of feel like I'm losing her. And it starts to click, but in many ways it's just kind of too late.
Yeah, he gets it. He doesn't understand it, though.
No.
He knows it's happening. He doesn't know how to fix it.
No.
Or why it's happening necessarily, because again, he lives in the past. So everything's fine to him. Right. So he can't understand why she is wanting to move forward in a different direction, or why she needs something more. He wants to understand it. I do think that, because he does love her. He doesn't know how to, though. No. Like even later when he says, if you want to do this and you, I'm going to mess up the words.
That's okay.
At the end when they're talking, and she's in her little orange flannel shirt, and she has the whole dialogue of, when Jack told me to draw what I love and what I'm passionate about, all I could think of was you.
Yes.
Which means I have nothing else, and that scares her.
She's realizing she's too invested.
Yes. And he does say, I'm not going anywhere. So if this is what you want, then I support it, or I'll step back and leave you alone with it. So him saying all that, I think he wants to believe what he's saying. He wants to support her, but it's only going to be short-lived.
Well, here's the thing. He isn't going anywhere because he's not going to change.
Yeah.
So, I mean, his words are true. He tries to mean them differently, but in my opinion.
Yeah, he believes what he's saying, but it's not gonna. Again, it just falls short, though.
It does.
But okay, we leave the art the art lecture, and we have Pacey and Andy walking, hanging out downtown.
Oh boy!
And they're just having a fun conversation. She does mention that her car is in the shop again because she has another wreck.
Bless her heart.
So that's really just a funny character trait for her, I think. And Tamara starts walking towards them, and you can see the life drain out of him the moment he sees her. It is so awkward.
I mean, the way she saunters up to him. Hello, Pacey. Oh.
It is so... It really is awkward for Andy. She doesn't even understand why it's awkward, but she's got to be able to feel it.
Well, of course she does, because she starts trying to figure out what's going on after the encounter has ended.
Yeah.
And she's like, what's wrong, Pacey? You look like you've seen a ghost.
He just says, I haven't talked to her in a while. No, you know the last conversation they had?
Yeah.
Goodbye. Enjoy Rochester. Enjoy high school.
Yeah.
That was the last conversation, okay? We know you haven't talked in a while. But then he says that he's got to go. He apologizes to Andy and he's got to go, and he goes after her.
Well, he runs after to see where she goes, because he doesn't actually go all the way. Like, he doesn't go and speak to her. He goes to her house later, but I don't know. I that to me was just way. Was it realistic? Probably on some level. If those feelings had been true and all those things, so I wasn't, irritated or anything like that. I'm not, because
right.
Some things are too far fetched.
We haven't done it.
No,
so I don't know how relatable it is to someone else.
No, but like, I'm just meaning some of the scenes that we've seen have been very unrealistic. And to me, if what they've portrayed had been a true situation,
if they were the same age, let's look at it in that way. If they were a real relationship in the same age that was legal, and you ran into your ex that you have not seen, and you really had real feelings, or
okay, well, being that I have survived a moment of such shock running into somebody and no acknowledgement of my existence as he passed, I know what that felt like. And like I said, that could have been a literal, that was very, very realistic in its own way. Now, the situation that it is pertaining to is discussing and all
absolutely that. But a relationship like that, yes, for sure. But
now, I didn't go running after to go see where the person went after I passed them. Like, no, we done.
Well, the only reason they ended is because they got caught, and it's illegal. If like, it's not like they broke up on bad terms. Well,
he's still jailbait.
Yes, but he doesn't know why she's there, though. We have to remember that. To him, she could be moving back. He has no idea why she's back in town. So it is throwing him for a loop a little bit.
It's a shock to the system.
For sure. He thought that he would never see her again.
And it is something to say for, you start trying to get over somebody or over a relationship, and it's not like they don't exist anymore. They're just not front of mind. And then when something comes up, God, it can knock your knees out from under you.
I think, too, it's a good way to know if you're really over them or not when you see them again, though. Because it is easy to think that you're over somebody when you're not having to see them over and over. Right. Be reminded of them because they aren't forefront of your mind. But then when you have to see them, or you see something that they have done or put on social, we live in a time of social media, so you see it on social media or whatever, that's when it's like a gut punch. Or I'd even have that moment where I go, oh, I'm good. That didn't bother me. Yeah, that didn't affect me.
And so, good for you.
Yeah. So it's one or the other. And when you finally see him again or whatever. So it's like, oh, hey, bye. Don't care to see you anymore. Yeah. And that's a really great feeling to know.
Love that for you.
I'm done. Yes. I have. Whew. And I think that he has a little bit of closure with this relationship.
Yes, I think he's gone through the shock in his system. Of course, something else to consider. We're to think of this as his first love. And there's this obvious resurgence of emotions, feelings, memories, all that coming back. He's sorting through all of that. Young, immature, no experience to go off of. It obviously no good family support at home, and he from my own opinion, he does a pretty good job by the end of this episode of managing all of those feelings and working his way through it. Now, the kiss that they share at the warehouse,
I mean, it's a little relapse.
Yeah, but
but I took more so than her. He's the one who kind of stopped it and was like, "Oh, we need to take a moment here,
Mm-hmm.
which was very mature.
It was. There was a lot of moments where some of the characters throughout this episode had some mature tendencies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Tendencies being the key, but
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, even Dawson, and so
yeah,
we'll highlight some of those. We have art class. Joey's been asked to come and join this art class, and good for her. I'm not good at it. I just don't have like that creative side to me necessarily. It feels more like work than an outlet.
Well, I get that, and some of it is. There is art that is a chore or a job or something to work at. There is others that are an outlet or a way to just be expressive.
Not for me. I have a very math oriented brain, so I am not. The funny part is that I felt gifted in elementary school, and they put me in art.
Well, sorry.
So,
well, for what it's worth, I have a very math oriented brain,
but I don't have a creative side to mine. And some people just are like that, and that is me. I'm not. I don't have. I can appreciate it. It's not me.
Well, I don't think of myself as an overly creative person. I'm better at, like, if I saw something and recreating it, I'm better at that than I am coming up with something on my own. That's too much pressure. That's too much work.
Yeah, I'd rather someone else just do it and me appreciate it.
Well, I don't spend the time to do it myself anymore because I don't feel like I have time, and it doesn't feel like an outlet.
Well, with Joey, I think that she's trying to find her passion. She doesn't really know what she wants. And I think that at times it just feels like an outlet for her. But then at other times, her life goes in a different direction necessarily than just from art.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still in a creative genre, I think, towards the end of the show. But right now, where she's just having kind of the basics of art and they're drawing bowls of fruit, which if anybody's taken an art class, you've done that. And she feels like it's not as important.
Correct.
But talent is talent, whatever you're drawing.
Right. And I appreciated what that teacher said to her, that with talent comes responsibility, and you owe it to yourself to not let it go to waste.
Yep.
But I also noted that we learned that her mom was an artist.
I thought that was the first time we've learned that.
Yes. And at that, she was like, she's not professional like you, or she was not a professional like
you. She downplays things.
Yeah. Self-taught for fun. And, for what it's worth, the grandmother that lived in the house that I live in now was an impeccable watercolor artist. And she painted all kinds of other things too, but I didn't really know that until a long time after she had passed. And I wished I'd known that earlier. It explains why she would encourage me as a kid to paint or do things.
Yeah.
But, Joey has this long-standing history, we know, of downplaying things, because that, to me, that's just part of her personality. She doesn't allow herself to fully accept how great some things are about herself or family members or whatever, because I think that she's so concerned about if other people don't think it the same way, it's almost like she's wrong for thinking it. But I don't exactly know how to articulate what I'm trying to get at. But anyway, it's an insecurity.
Yep.
In wondering, I almost think that she doesn't think that her own opinion is good enough.
Like in the last episode when it was Laura, right? It was the same woman from the design firm.
Yes.
Asking her opinion, and she hesitated and didn't want to give it because she didn't feel like it was
correct,
valid enough. But she also tells her, you should take yourself more seriously.
Yeah.
She is speaking into Joey, trying to like combat all of the negative that Joey feels about herself, or is afraid to accept the positive and the good, because she's afraid that, well, she says that over when she says, with talent comes great responsibility, she says, now all of a sudden I have anxiety about it.
Well, yeah, she says that before, and then that's why that I don't remember the teacher's name, but she's like, well, that's because with talent comes responsibility.
Joe, I think Joey's afraid of failure.
I mean, on a personal level, I identify with a lot of this.
Well, she also put so much pressure on herself to get out of Cape Side that any failure she thinks is going to keep her there.
Well, too, considering the fact that art really is a subjective subject, you can have somebody love it and somebody think it's stupid all at the same time. So there's really no hard ground to stand on that says this is good or this is bad. So fear of failure in that realm is a very real thing.
Yeah, so, it's hard to have a steady income.
Well, that too. But anyway,
yeah, Joey, she's my favorite character. I will say that. Just doesn't mean she's perfect at all. So when I say she's my favorite character, I will call her out at times. But I just think that there's so much to her underneath and why she does the things she does. Even her negative, cynical attitude, there are legit reasons why, and I do think that she has a great character development.
And you bringing that up, we haven't seen as much of her negative, cynical self this season.
We haven't, but also she's getting what she wants.
Yes, I know that. I'm not denying that. We're not trying to not acknowledge, but I just realized or thought to myself, she hasn't been her typical cynical self lately.
We have commented, though, that we've seen growth in her, and I think that's part of it.
Oh, absolutely.
When you just start to grow and mature, some of that...
It's contained growth because she still has to fit inside this box for Dawson. Where, in comparison to the other guys that she's kind of flirted with here and there.
Andy shows up at Dawson's house.
Yes.
And the way he's like, what are you doing here? That's where, before she says, I know we're not close.
Right.
That's where we realize they're not friends yet.
No, and I actually kind of thought to myself, how do you necessarily know where he lives? I mean, granted, it is a small town, so I guess it's to imply that everybody knows where everybody lives. But it would shock me.
Yeah.
I mean, I literally don't remember these episodes for the most part. So I'd forgotten about that and was like, oh, interesting.
Andy has her way. She's
she does.
Resourceful.
We know that.
Who knows how
she can be ditzy as all get out, but she's no fool.
True. But they're not friends yet, but she has shown up under the guise of she needs the what they're supposed to read for English. And he's doing laundry. And she just somehow gets a pair of his boxers in her hands and she's just twisted them. He puts the laundry in the washer, which means
it was dirty.
Those were dirty.
Ew. Like, if that had, I'm not gonna pick up your clothes. Number one,
but it's just a nervous tick of why she was there.
Yes, but even then, if I'd seen him put it in the washer, I would have been
like, it would have been funny for her to react that way too, a little bit. But this scene I actually really did like with Dawson. She shows up. I thought, honestly, sorry, let me get here.
You're good.
I thought she was there because I didn't remember exactly, but I thought she was there to kind of fish around and ask about
investigate.
Tamara.
Yes, I thought so too.
But when she says, who does he like? Does he like somebody?
We realize her deeper insecurity. Yes.
Yeah, and I just, it took me back to high school. It's like,
oh God.
I mean, it was really relatable. It was. And he has the comment of like, I feel like I'm in second grade.
Yes.
And it's because she's like, please don't, when she's asked about Pacey, because she likes Pacey, she's like, please don't tell him. Please do not tell him. And I feel like we're in second grade. It's a cute conversation between the two of these.
Yeah. I feel like in some ways it could have been a conversation that somehow took place at school or in the hallway somewhere. I would have never gone to somebody's house to inquire about their best friend. But
yeah. I mean, and this wasn't even the same day as they saw Tamara because she had on a different outfit. I was just trying to process a little bit.
I wasn't paying that close of attention.
I
it
noticed
happened so short, like soon after, that I just assumed it was that afternoon.
No, but it's the weekend. So the only reason let me back up to how I know this. Jen and Abby are talking about what they're doing on the weekend.
Correct.
So again, it's another Friday leading into the weekend. Just make it the weekend, so we don't have to wonder how you did this before school.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a half day on Fridays. I don't know, but so it's Saturday when she goes to his house because she has on these cute little overall shorts.
Yes.
I'm telling you, I noticed all of their clothes in this episode because they looked so good and cute. I just loved it. I just want to. This is so side note, but it made me think of this. I saw a girl on TikTok and she went to a thrift store. She said, "Come thrift a Brooke Davis inspired outfit with me." And so she had some pictures of
how cool.
Brooke Davis' outfits, and she went into a thrift store and she found things that looked similar. And she built an entire outfit.
That's cool.
From like the early 2000s, and I just thought that is so.
That's
I
fun.
like that.
That's fun.
And I would wear every bit of what they had on in this episode.
Yeah,
I would. Not Jen or Abby. Forget her. Not Jen's outfits.
I feel bad because I really wasn't paying that close of attention to their outfits. Now, that one scene with Dawson and Andy, I clicked in on that one, and I saw her little brown short sleeve shirt under her little, denim overall short things, and then his undershirts with his overshirt. Anyway,
yeah, he does wear lots of shirts. This one he looked good, but he laughs a little bit, but she says something about he's how does she word it? Because his response is that piggish behavior is flirting for Pacey.
Well, he's asking her if she likes Pacey, and she's like, "Oh God, no, I don't like Pacey. I couldn't like Pacey. He's a pig," and blah 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 blah. And then she kind of starts to, well, I mean, maybe I kind of do, or in her little way that she rants.
Neurotic.
Yes. And then she ends up saying that, yes, she does. And then,
as she's twisting his underwear.
Yes. And then Dawson, I just kind of put that, he kind of tries to wingman for Pacey. And it's like, well, for what it's worth, or however he says it, that, his piggish behavior is really his way of flirting.
And it did not feel like a derogatory thing towards Pacey.
He didn't mean it to be.
Yeah, exactly. But even in season 1, there would be times where it would come across that he was doing it to defend or say it's a positive compliment towards his friend, but really it was derogatory. Well, yeah, this did not feel that way.
No, this was genuine.
Yes, this was.
And I think that in some ways, I really think Dawson was excited for Pacey in this moment. I mean, and two, think about, Dawson's in this relationship, and happy people want things to be happy for their friends. Doesn't always equal that, but
yeah. I think that Dawson still knows that he screwed up as a friend when it came to the birthday, and he is trying to be better. Doesn't last.
No.
Because, I mean, he is self-absorbed, so it's going to come back. It's going to come back to him. But I liked this with Dawson and
it was
Andy.
A cute scene.
And honestly, as the show goes on, their friendship develops even more. It's not a full-blown, like, best friend type thing, but they grow closer.
Right.
And I like it.
I do too.
Abby and Jen. This is when, after they've gone shopping, and she's blown her entire allowance.
In 20 minutes. Which is a record for her.
She has this whole scene of talking about she needs a real man.
Yeah, with chest hair and body odor and illegitimate children everywhere. Ew. Ew, 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 ew.
This was the only scene I thought Jen looks good. She looks like just very glowy, and her hair looked great, and her skin looked great. But I think they were trying to make, maybe not consciously, but I think the way I looked at Jen in the scene was she looks older. other scene she has in her hair barrettes.
Yes.
But she looks older in this one.
Which shorter hair tends to make you look older.
That Abby says calls dibs on.
Yeah.
And she calls out to him.
The way she talked to him was bizarre to me because she almost talks to him like he might be a scared child. Like the tone that she used it was bizarre.
It made me uncomfortable.
Yes, agreed. Which I think it clearly made Jen uncomfortable too.
For now.
Well, right. But
yeah, it's I mean, if I had been the friend in that situation and the friend I was with was doing this, I would have been just like mortified.
Yes.
Mortified. And I think there's a little bit of that with Jen, but then also she does peek around and she does see, and then she just she's a little mortified in the way that Abby's acting, not necessarily because he's older, just because of the way Abby flirts. It's terrible.
It is terrible.
I don't think that Jen has a problem that he's older. She says that he could be your dad's age, but she clearly, in the next episode we see, does not have an issue with it.
No.
So
we know historically that wouldn't necessarily be a problem either.
Yep.
But again, there's still jailbait.
Still jailbait. For sure. Okay, we cut to Joey is in the park drawing.
Yes.
And this is also at the ruins.
Mm-hmm.
But Dawson walks up and he immediately closes her art book. Mm-hmm. She doesn't want him to see it.
Mm-mm.
And he tries to get her to show him. I get why she doesn't want him to see.
I do too.
She feels like to him it's silly.
Well, it's an insecurity thing too. Like art is personal. Mm-hmm. And people will judge and form opinions of it. I mean, you can't not if you look at something.
Well, even in the things he says that are not great, like calling it her new hobby, it made me cringe because I knew, as soon as he said it, I was like, ooh, that was not good.
Wrong word.
It was. That's how it felt, though. It did not feel like a red flag, for instance, because it was the worst words to use. Mm-hmm. I think the intention behind it was there.
Right.
But again, there's a deeper thing in him that, and she calls it out.
She does.
Why is essentially your passion and your movies your life's passion, and my art is a new hobby? I'm glad she calls that out. I don't even think he realizes that that's how he looks at it, that it is.
The only thing I can argue or say is, I mean, I see this from all of the angles, truthfully. Totally identify with how Joey feels. In many ways, she's already going to be on the defense because I feel like she's constantly having to defend the things that she enjoys that he can't
understand,
put any value in. He can't value it at all. So there's that. From the perspective of Dawson, I mean, this hasn't been something she was previously doing. So is it fair or valid to even call it a life's passion for her yet?
Right.
Not really. You just started it. So
it is a hobby right now to him.
It kind of is. You know, you can be all about it. And again, as somebody who personally tends to pick up things and do it and then move on.
Same. Sourdough. I still got it in the fridge. I'm just not actively doing it.
I get it.
It's good to have all these new skills, though, even if you don't do it all the time.
I have a professional wood burning machine that I can do artistic work with.
What?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, this is a conversation for Chili's.
Oh, I have plenty of things. You have no idea what is in that house.
Sure. You don't even know what.
I don't even know what all is in my house, and I am notorious for repurchasing things that I forgot that I had, or I go to find something, and then I come across something that's like, oh, where did this come from, and when did I get it? Because I completely, it's no long, it does not even exist in my memory. Like I've had several moments like that across the last several years in that house. And I'm like, that's. But anyway, yes, I get that. So there is this element of acknowledging the fact that this is kind of a newfound interest. But in the grand scheme of his approach and how he is as a character,
I do think how he said it was also part of like
that was the demise of this moment.
And I would have taken it exactly how she did, especially at 15, 16 years old.
Well, and again, she's constantly having to defend herself. I mean, let's even just consider how he acted about her being in the pageant.
Yes.
Or the beauty contest. Same thing. It's almost like he can't, if you didn't do this or have a passion for it from birth, then it doesn't count, and that's not fair.
That's it. That's exactly what it is, because he has.
Not everybody's like that.
No.
Like, for example, my sister came out of the womb knowing she was going to be a nurse. Literally. That's what she has done and is amazing at it, and I applaud her for it. I've worn many hats in my career lifespan, if you will. For that matter, you can have a passion for something that never ends up in a professional capacity.
Right. Yeah.
But that's where I'm at on that.
No, I completely agree. That's exactly what it is.
And two, she's going to be more, immediate. In my opinion, I know I would be much quicker to, throw up walls or take a little bit of offense to what was said, because again, art is so, it's an intimate thing. It's vulnerability on paper in this case, so you're already kind of going to be on edge of what somebody else has to say, and he's not even fully acknowledging.
Yeah. Pacey, we talked about being a good friend, and in this, Joey is now having the same type of situation where she has always supported him.
She's hyper aware.
Yes, she's always, even when she did not fully like it, even understand it sometimes, or want to be a part of it, she still supported him.
So, in its own way, this is just kind of how my mind thinks of it. You could, as that person who's always all those things for somebody, or if there's something in particular that that you do for somebody all the time, or in some kind of a relationship, and your tank is getting very empty, like it may just be part of your love language or just how you care for people to do the things or be the way you are, and then your tank starts getting low, I feel like you get real quick to pick up on when others don't reciprocate.
Yeah.
Or when it's not being given back to you. Exactly. So, I mean, it's one thing if that tank is full and you're oblivious to it at times. I know that I can be when things are big, or certain things are whatever, but then it's like sometimes, start getting a little petty, feeling a little some type of way, and
Can I be completely honest with you?
Yeah.
Thursday, I made mental notes of what time people texted me and who has yet to text me. I slept just fine, but I'm just saying that's the petty that
I know.
I'm working away, and I'm like, okay.
I know. And I feel bad because, like, I have so much stress around the fact that yesterday on my birthday was so eventful that I didn't get to use my phone all day, and I haven't been able to respond to anybody, and people are like, are you okay? Wellness check. And I promise y'all, I'm coming to tell you thank you very soon. There's just other things going on at this moment that I can't stop.
Well, we understand Joey's mental capacity.
Yeah, her reaction to it and all that. Yeah.
Okay, we go to Tamara's house. And I have major flashbacks to the
familiar scene.
Goodbye, Jamie.
I know.
I have major flashbacks. But I still think he looked cute. He walks up, and even though it was with her, Joshua Jackson makes me melt.
Yeah.
I can legally say that because he was over 21 years old at that time.
I know what
so
you mean.
I'm not swooning over a teenager. But Joshua Jackson, the way that he just acts. I mean, because I've watched him. Again, this goes back to I'm going to watch my people and their stuff. So I have watched just about anything that he's in. I just love him, and he has new projects coming that I'm so ready for. But he, with one of the, I'm not going to say that because I'll say it wrong. I can tell you later where it doesn't matter if I say it wrong. But when they're talking and she just, they're going to stand in silence or whatever. He says something to her. He just wants closure. That's kind of what I got from this a little bit. Yeah. He wants some closure in it. She has this where she says, I don't remember what he says to make her respond this way, but she goes, That's how she was. Ugh. I just didn't like it.
I should have paid closer attention.
It was so simple. Yeah. And yet I was like, ugh.
Well, everything about her repulses me. So,
but him saying as he's about to walk away, he asks who this Pinter guy is. Yes. She's talking about, and she says, "Pacey, stay in school."
Yes.
This is a funny little exchange, and then he has a smirk.
Yes.
As he does, and I've seen it in other things that he's been in. So this is why I'm like, oh, Joshua Jackson. Ugh. He has the smirk, and he says, "Yes, Miss Jacobs."
Yes.
Okay. I know that we do not like the relationship. We don't like the storyline. But I just thought it was a very cute line and how he delivered it.
Absolutely.
Forget her.
Right.
Because he's had essentially the same line and smirk and the way he delivers it with Andy and Joey later on. So it's just him.
It's just him. Correct. I mean, furthermore, I appreciated some of the way their conversation was written. Again, excluding the nasty details. But, for example, when she's telling him about this, what was the name? The
Pinter. It's something, I don't know.
This Pinter moment or whatever. And that it's this shared silence of words not spoken that are just understood. And, he's asked for a few more moments of silence. There's elements to that's written kind of in a mature tone in its own way. And does it fit his age? Not quite in this storyline. But I appreciated it, and it's not taking it out of that context. But again, even that line in his little witty tone and smirk at the end, I appreciated that. I see what you're talking about.
He's so cute. I love it. His hair is still not settled. But you know what? I look past it.
I know.
Because the outfits are on point to me. His attitude, like we're away from the cynical Pacey that we've seen this season so far. He's light again because of Andy.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Back at Dawson's house though. Oh, this was probably my least favorite scene. I'm going to be completely honest.
Yeah.
And it is with Mitch.
It is.
And Dawson, I don't fully even get mad at him because he says he's got to go find Joey. Because he knows, like, that she started it.
She's kind of pulling away.
She's pulling away. He knows that he has done things wrong. He has not responded the way that he needs to. I do think that he just knows that she's upset about it. He doesn't fully know why,
right,
and why what he's done.
He's aware of the fact it's not so much that I think he thinks he's doing something wrong. I think he thinks he's just not doing something right.
Yeah, and she's the one who is having these mood swings essentially, and just
yes, but I think he just thinks he's missing something. Like it's a miss. So because he's not going to admit he's wrong.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But at the end of the day, I mean, he's seeking out what he can do to try to kind of rescue things before it all goes downhill. Again, I still think it's a little too late, but it was kind of an awkwardly painful scene to kind of watch.
Mitch says, in my experience, when a woman has erratic behavior, it's really not about whatever she's talking about. It's
something else.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just wanted to. How gross.
Yeah.
I could be really going too far into this, and it may not even be needed or appropriate for me to be this grossed out by the comment, but I'm like, what?
Right.
First of all, you're speaking in generalities here.
Mm.
Okay? When a woman has erratic behavior, first of all, don't call it that either, because women and men alike have a right to feel how they feel, and be upset and process it.
Mm-hmm.
So that just to me felt like he was dismissive.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like a dismissive comment.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you're talking to your son about his girlfriend, so talk in a way that your son is going to be respectful,
right,
to his girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you are calling it that to him, now Dawson doesn't go and say it, repeat it back, but there are people who would go back and repeat, this erratic behavior that you've got going on. Like, and honestly, I can't believe Dawson doesn't repeat that back.
True.
But I just thought, Mitch, this is not a good look for you.
Mm-mm.
I don't like it.
I didn't feel like it was handled well.
No. But, again, over and done, Mitch leaves, he's got a meeting, and Pacey comes in.
Mm-hmm.
And Pacey is mad.
Mm-hmm.
Well, mad's not the right word, because they moved past it. He's not mad like he has been at Dawson in the past.
No, he's frustrated.
But he's frustrated. Mm-hmm. Because Dawson did not tell him that Tamara is back in town.
He tried.
He did.
He tried.
And I was on Dawson's side in this, because, yes, he could have found another moment to tell him. But also, as his friend, I think he should have told him. But it's also not Dawson's responsibility.
No.
That you entered into an illegal relationship.
Correct.
And he has other things too.
Yeah.
This is the only time I'm defending Dawson and all his other things he's got going on. But
I can see both sides of this situation. For Pacey, you should have tried harder. For Dawson, but I did try. Mm-hmm. It's all pertinent information, yes. But to consider, had Pacey known about her before he saw her,
what would have changed?
Exactly my point.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The exact same thing. What if he would have told him? What would have been different?
Other than that, in my opinion, if somebody had told me that, like if this shoe was on my foot, it would have ensued so much anxiety of running into that person that it would have just been best to have been shocked to death to
Pacey
run into them.
Gone to her house if he had told him.
Right. I mean, the only things that would have changed would have been him seeking her out before just running into her.
Dawson, it blows over quickly, and he's like, well, I tried.
And that Dawson, to me, kind of tries to switch the gears and be like, what about somebody your own age? There's girls your own age. And Pacey's like, who? And Dawson's like, well, I mean, hitting, and then just says it.
Feels it.
After being asked not to.
I know.
But realistically, at that age, they're going to tell.
Yes, and it wasn't life or death.
No.
And also, Pacey likes her too. So it all works out.
Whether he's realized it yet or not.
That's the end. Oh, okay.
I know.
But he says, Andy hates me.
Yeah.
So even though he's started to realize that he enjoys being around her, he still doesn't think that she reciprocates that because of the banter that they have.
Well, that is his own insecurity.
You are enough, Pacey Winter.
Yes. But he can't get around the fact that, like we've mentioned earlier, she's just a girl. Miss Jacobs is a woman.
And to that, you're a boy.
Yes. And I loved, like you said, Dawson's response. You need a girl.
Yes. It's very simple.
Yeah.
It's a very simple thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Dawson's response. He is trying to be a good friend, which we have said. Dawson is sometimes to his own downfall.
Yeah.
Tries to be a good friend. And tries is the main word there because sometimes it fails. But other times I can think back to how he handles situations with Pacey. He really talks down to him.
Yes.
Or makes him feel stupid.
Right.
He has not done that in this scene in particular. It did not feel that way.
No, this was a true friend. Good friend.
It was. Because it would have been easy to be like very judgmental of, what the heck are you doing again? And honestly, that would have been okay, but the way Dawson would have delivered it would have been a little bit worse. But like, what?
Well, doesn't he mention to him like the illegal relationship? He says something along those lines at some point to him. I can't remember, but I think it was in that scene.
I don't remember.
There is mention of this illegal nature of this relationship, but again, all of it was handled in a very good way, in my opinion.
It was. I think so too, absolutely. But Dawson does say he's got to go. Even that, I didn't feel like he was dismissing. No. He was just like, he handled his situation with his friend, and now he has to go find Joey. And
right.
I mean, honestly, Dawson did not do much to make me despise him in this episode.
Right.
He's still Dawson. I'll give it that.
Yeah. But I mean, he could have very well just blown Pacey off because he was trying to get to Joey.
Could have. And in the past, he has.
Yes, but I was proud of him for not being so completely selfish.
Next scene, we go to the ice house, and Joey asks off because it's dead. There's nobody there, and so she wants to go to this art museum. And Bessie encourages her to take Jack.
Yes.
Jack, God bless, he needs some friends.
Yes. In this scene, in my opinion, of him just sitting there does not support him opening the ice house by himself.
No. But Joey does invite him to go to the art museum with her, and so we'll see that in just a second. We cut to the I get my words tongue tied. We cut to the warehouse, though. And this is where Pacey comes. No, I'm sorry. This is where Mitch is there. Because Mitch is there looking at the warehouse that he wants to buy. And this is where he brings up he asks, do you need are you financially struggling, basically? Or you just need to be rid of this place because of the scandal?
Yes.
Essentially, not those words exactly, but... And then she has the nerve to compare her scandal with his wife cheating on him.
That he's no stranger to scandal himself or something along those lines. And I made a note. Props to Mitch for standing up to Miss Jacobs, baiting him into scandalous conversation.
Yes.
I mean...
She's also leaned back against this post. Like, you are trying to... You need to stand up.
Yeah.
Quit trying to seduce him.
Right. That's what I was about to say. There's a seductive element to her acting in this scene, and it just shows you her character as a whole is just so poor. And we don't even have to go any further than that, but it also gives a total antithesis to the first encounter where Mitch was kind of googly-eyed, and she may have picked up on that in that case. And remember, we talked about this last season too, how I think that she would have potentially been interested in Mitch had he been interested back or reciprocated that interest. However, we know that by nature she can be just flirty.
Yep.
All by itself. Yes. Yep. So it doesn't always imply that it is genuine. However, Mitch, I just appreciated the fact that he had some integrity here.
Yep. He said he doesn't want to think about that this afternoon.
Right. It doesn't need to be brought up.
Well, especially because she doesn't know the situation in his marriage.
No.
She knows that his wife cheated, but she doesn't know if they're trying to work it out, if they're trying to put it past him, forgive. She knows none of that.
No.
So the fact that you bring that up to somebody when they could very well be moving, which we know that they're not, but they could very well have completely put it behind him, forgiven. He could have forgiven her, and they're moving forward. And now she's throwing that back up at him. It was a very inappropriate thing for a complete stranger, essentially, to do.
whether you're interested or not, that makes it even worse. But in my opinion, I just think that, I mean, regardless of the fact that we know that it doesn't end up working out for Mitch and Gail, he still was a stand-up dude and didn't bait into talking crap. You know what I mean? Like, he stopped her, as he should. Whether that's going to be somebody that you continue a marriage with or not, be a man. And I applaud Mitch for that. And we've had moments where we've kind of questioned his man card at times. You know, I mean, this was a good move on his part. I appreciated him,
even after his erratic behavior comment.
Again, taking this moment out of context of the rest, but
Abby and Jen are down at the docks looking for fisherman Vincent, and it is gross. And the fact that Jen is like, "What are we doing here?" and then she realizes who they're looking for. I'm like, girl, why else would y'all be at the docks?
Don't be dumb.
You literally just the day before or whatever heard him say he works at the docks.
Yeah, don't be dumb.
It was dumb.
Don't pull the dumb blonde card.
Yeah. Then Abby throwing herself at him essentially. And
ew.
The way he took her advances of slumming it with the help, basically, it's exactly the way she was coming across.
Yeah.
That's what it was, a fantasy of, like,
yes,
the blue collar worker, just like he said, with the little rich girl. But then he has his comment about teeny bopper fantasy.
Yeah.
But then he comes on and asks Jen out. So does he know that they're teenagers, or is he just
oops?
The bird just fly into the door.
It didn't. It flew away.
Okay, it's still good. Okay.
Yeah. It's not on the deck flopping around.
But so is he just saying, like, classifying it as a teenage fantasy to be sneaking around? Was he just calling it a teenage fantasy without really knowing that they are teenagers? Or does he know they're teenagers and he still asks out?
I feel like he knows that they're teenagers.
Gross.
It is gross. I mean, kind of, you know, well, I was going to mention the Notebook, but she wasn't interested in him at first, so that doesn't quite apply. But at the least, I think he knew. And then, you know, he makes it out like he might be kind of a good dude, and then turns around and hits on Jen and asks her out.
And Jen is trying to be a good friend.
She does. I noted that.
Defending Abby, I feel like she should have just walked away.
She should have.
But I think there's an underlying of, like,
well, she's
wanting to be seen by him.
She's creating an opportunity in its own way. She was trying to create some open air space for conversation, whether she's willing to admit that or not. I'm sure that she was well enough aware at the place that they ate of his look at her and
asking her name,
potential interest. And her curiosity is probably the underlying subject here.
Well, she has, in the past few episodes, felt less than. That she has been feeling like she's not seen.
Correct.
And that she's completely alone, and she likes this attention.
It's the first attention she's received, which is a dangerous place to be.
Yep. But before that, he says he wants to take her out. But before this scene, Jack and Joey are at the art museum. And he fully understands the art.
Yes.
And how she feels about it.
Yes.
And she's shocked.
Yes.
And they have this back and forth. And it's really, when they're laughing and she's teasing him, it really felt like a Katie Holmes, Kerr Smith just having fun laughing moment. Like, I know them, but I don't. It just felt like they were being playful.
It felt natural.
Yes. And then she offended him, which I get it. I mean, she has a tendency to take things a little too far sometimes.
Yeah.
It's not her intention to hurt people's feelings, but she can.
Yeah.
And she did in this moment with him. But they move past it. She apologizes even to him. She hasn't always done that.
No.
And he makes the comment that shallow people can't always see past the colors on the thing. And he doesn't even realize, but he is making her think of Dawson and how he sees it in his response. And They walk out of the museum, and that is the courthouse that's right there by the river walking by our hotel.
Yes.
And Dawson walks up. Oh, well, also Jack. She says that she has been taking an art class, and that right now it's just a bowl of fruit, and that's her downplaying it again. And he says, "You don't have to wait for somebody to tell you to do it. You draw what you love."
Yeah.
And her wheels start turning. And this is where it comes back later, of what she actually does end up drawing. And Dawson walks up because, with all of his well-intentioned moments, he wanted to go to the museum with her. Well, she's already gone. Jack, he looks at Jack like he has this moment where he looks at Jack when he walks up and is like, he doesn't really acknowledge him, but it's just he looks at him like, why are you here?
Yeah. What is this?
Jack dismisses himself.
Yeah.
And Dawson says, let's go to the museum. And she's like, I've already been.
Yeah.
And it leads into this whole thing of her saying, I have always just been your sidekick. It's always been this way. And he says, I like how things have been with us.
Of course you do. Right.
Yes. And she is pushing back of she needs more. She wants more.
And Jack, in his own way, is opening her eyes up to that. And if it's not that it's with Jack, it's just that can exist.
Yes. She has been solely focused for 15 years, whatever, that Dawson is the center of the universe because she's loved him for so long. But now, as she's getting older, she has Dawson, but he wants to keep her in this box, and she also needs to grow into herself, find out what makes her happy outside of Dawson, and she is realizing that. And this episode is for sure the one that is like Joey is kind of standing on her own 2 feet, and she tells him that as the episode goes on.
Yes, and I can appreciate it, in this case, it's kind of a fast friend situation, in my opinion. She doesn't know Jack that well, but it's somebody else with some common ground that they share this interest and appreciation for art, and it gives her an opportunity to talk with somebody or talk to somebody that is on that same wavelength. And you can feel like you're on an island in your own feelings in your mind if it's something that you enjoy that other people don't understand, and you find somebody else that kind of validates your feelings and what you've thought, and that goes a long way.
Yeah, I agree.
So I can appreciate this scene and their friendship that's kind of forming.
Yep. Oh, we're not done with Dawson and Joey quite yet, but we do now have to go to the warehouse where Pacey walks in.
Yeah.
And I can't, in the beginning of the scene, I thought he just really is trying to find some closure with her, but then they have this kiss. He has this whole moment where he says, I know you thought I was just there to express my feelings for you, but I'm not. I'm good, and we weren't.
Well, he says that before they kiss,
right? That's why I thought, he just really is. That's really when he was saying all that. That's when I thought I had that moment where I was like, oh, I get it. When you finally, you don't know if you're fully over somebody, but then you see them or you see something of them, and you're like, I have no feelings still.
There was a part of me that questioned how much he meant it at first, because he kind of said it with a little tone behind it that was kind of supposed to be a jab. But then he became more convincing as he went along, and then they kissed, and I was like, okay, well,
yeah,
kind of cheapened what you said, in my opinion, but get it, moving on. But I just,
she was more clothed than she's ever been.
Agreed.
She looked more like someone's mom than she ever has.
Agreed.
But I loved it. I loved the outfit.
I wasn't paying that close attention.
It was just jeans and like this little orange t-shirt type thing, but she was fully clothed.
Yeah.
And I appreciated it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I noticed the fashion in this episode for some reason.
Well, I mean, I paid attention to what she had on at other times during the episode, and it wasn't but it wasn't a slip dress.
Right.
It was full fabric.
Well, this was fully clothed. All we saw was her arms.
Yeah, true.
But this is when I just thought, I can't relate to this at all. I can't relate to how hard it is for her to say goodbye to him and let him go, because it's just so gross.
Other than if mentally there's a component here of something internal that we don't understand, and she just idolized how he made her feel to some extent, that would be the only regard I could begin to fathom. Years difference is too much.
I can't imagine it.
Yeah, no.
So I can't relate to how hard this is for you to say goodbye. I can't. Abby and Jen are in the hallway at school. We're almost done with this episode.
Yes. Abby gets butthurt.
Abby is so upset because she was rejected, but she says, I don't get rejected. I was not rejected. Girl, no, that's exactly what happened.
Hang on. It's not just that I wasn't rejected.
That's your area.
Yeah. That's your area of expertise. Excuse you.
She is mean.
God, I can't stand her.
I know. But I thought, you are so delusional. What do you think he did then? You just forgot that he called you out? I mean, she is delusional.
But those kind of people, their rationale is completely different.
But Jen is trying, again, it's a bad friend, but Jen is clinging to anybody that she can right now. And so this is the only friend she has in this moment. And so she is really trying to fix whatever tension she feels between her and Abby. And she's like, I enjoy hanging out with you. I don't want this to be a problem.
I know. And I look at this scene, and in the back of my mind, I keep thinking, where's Grams?
I know. We had no Grams and no Gail this episode either.
I mean, coming from someone who, my mom stressed, and she would laugh to hear me say this, stressed the statement of, she wanted us to know life outside the fishbowl, and the fishbowl was school. So she had us involved in, I mean, we rode horses growing up and showed horses. So we had outside of school extracurricular activities in their own way. But if you don't have any form of life or friends or anything else outside of that fishbowl, it's a lonely place to be. At the same time, it's like, girl, you are picking some bad people.
Yeah. But again, Abby made her feel like she was important or popular, or,
and again, this goes back to, for Jen to have had so many classy moments last season, this is kind of sad on a regression in her maturity level, in my opinion.
We'll get there though.
I know.
We'll get there. Okay, Dawson and Joey's last scene together. He's sitting under the tree and she walks up, and this is the whole moment of her saying, I realize you are the only person I thought of when someone told me to draw what I love.
Mm-hmm.
And when she shows him, he smiles because he thinks it's sweet.
It's a compliment to him.
Yeah. She is saying, it scares me that I have nothing else.
Well, like I said, she's too invested, and she's realizing that.
And they have this, I did really love even him saying, I'm not going anywhere, because to him, he's trying to encourage her that he's not going anywhere and he will support her.
Yeah.
We have outside perspective, so we know it doesn't work out necessarily the way you want it to, buddy, or you are still self-absorbed. But the intention behind it is there, and her just saying, she's essentially saying, not in these exact words. This is how I took it.
Right.
She's like, I don't know if I can be with you until I figure this out. Because he says, what decision did you make? Or what did you come to?
Correct.
And she just says, can we not? She doesn't say overanalyze, but it's along those lines.
Leave it unresolved or something like that.
Can this one thing be? Yeah.
Which, that brings up the whole, if it doesn't please Dawson, or if Dawson is not happy, or if it's a loose end on his end, he's not happy.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't necessarily go off or anything like that, but he doesn't like it just hanging and just again unresolved. But
he has no control over this situation.
No, and he's not the best at handling those moments.
Yeah. Yep. Well, he's used to being the one that she pines over, even if he didn't realize she was pining over him. And now he's the one who is afraid he's about to lose.
Well, it's about time he starts feeling some of that and wearing that shoe.
Yeah, I agree. The last little scene. Andy's sitting at the little coffee shop, and Pacey walks by and sees her in the window, and he smiles, and he walks in, and she kind of rolls her eyes when she sees him through the window. And he sits down and he says, "How's the cheeseburger here?" and grabs her cheeseburger and bites into it. And she just knew, it's like the smirk on his face. She was like, "Dawson told you."
Yes.
And I get that. There are times where you look at somebody and go,
You know. You know.
Shoot. Yeah. Who told you? And she's not mad. She's like, oh. And she
expected it, basically.
Yeah. She's like, she don't even have to know Dawson to expect it. And she's like, I don't. You know, it was a lapse in judgment. I don't actually like you.
Trying to play it off.
He's just like smiling through it. And it is just so sweet.
It is.
These two. We are. We're getting there.
Yes.
And I've said it over and over how much I love this little relationship, and I really do, because of how much growth there is in Pacey.
Absolutely.
Through it. But also, I just like to dive into more characters if they're given the right amount of space to do that. Like if they had tried to dive into Cliff's backstory or something like that, it's not appropriate. We don't care.
No.
But they've done it really well with Andy and Jack, in my opinion, of not giving it to us all at once, where we're like, I haven't even developed any liking to this character, and now you're telling me all this? I don't care.
Right.
They are slowly drawing us into their characters. And then in the next couple episodes, we're going to get more about their family.
Right.
And I can't wait. I really can't wait. So overall, though, no red flags. I can't give some of the things that, even him not fully supporting her art, I can't give that a red flag necessarily, because I think that it is just a maturity thing.
Well, I was going to say, I just chalk that up to immaturity.
Yeah. And I have to separate those two things, because
if he had not attempted to try to figure out a way to start fixing some of the issues that he's beginning to realize, then it would have been a red flag.
He didn't turn things around back to himself this episode, which he has a tendency to do.
He does.
And that would have been the red flag too for me.
Correct.
So, yeah.
I'll agree.
Immature, but overall, we got to allow 15-year-olds to mature at their own pace, essentially. Like, no trivia, no goofy mess ups, but there were some movies mentioned.
Okay.
Do you have any? Can you name any of them? You don't even have to guess a number.
Well, Dumbo is one. You mentioned another one that was, I don't know. I mean,
her 3 movies that she dropped out of her backpack were Dumbo, Ghost, and The Way We Were.
That's right.
And then in the very beginning at the ruins, when Joey and Dawson are kissing, she says The Swiss Family Robinson. I've never seen any of these, but Dumbo.
Never heard of it.
And then at some point, I don't remember where this was, but the Pink Panther was mentioned. That's what it said, at least. I don't remember where it was. I've never seen it either. Have you seen Pink Panther? It wouldn't be the remake or whatever, obviously.
But. Oh, I don't know. I mean, I remember the cartoon.
Yeah, I don't even remember when it would have been said, but
I mean, I think if I have not seen Ghost all the way through, I know I've seen portions of Ghost.
I've heard of it. But
my grandmother used to have. Side note: my grandmother used to have a navy blue candle that was on this base that had a switch, and when you lit the candle, it had to get hot, but somehow the heat of that candle would trigger it to play the song from, it was just the instrumental, but the song from Ghost. And I remember it being in their sunroom at one point, and it got hot in there. It was not lit, and it started singing it, and I was in there by myself. I was like,
there is a real ghost.
What is that? I mean, not a real ghost, but it just was humorous. But that was, Grandma had all kinds of quirky things. So anyway,
what do you give this one?
I give it a 4.
Okay.
It's not like, I mean, like I told you when we first opened it, just kind of left me kind of neutral.
Yeah. I give this one a 7.
Okay.
I like where we're going with some of this.
Mm-hmm.
Even I kind of give it as high as a 7 because Dawson was okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a typical teenager, was a better friend in this one. So, and I just really love the pay. Honestly, I probably would have given it more if Tamara wasn't in it.
Yeah, true.
But we do have some closure with that. We're rounding that storyline completely out. So I'm just glad Doug didn't worm his way in somewhere to pop. That would have been even worse.
That would have been worse.
Okay. Are you ready?
Sure. And that's a wrap on today's episode. If you loved hanging out with us, make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube, where you can watch this full video, and follow us on Spotify so you can never miss a rewatch. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok for clips, behind-the-scene moments, and all the nostalgia your heart can handle. Leave us a comment, rate the show, share the episode with a fellow roomie. It truly helps more than you know, and we love hearing from you. We'll be back every Tuesday and Thursday with more laughs, more nostalgia, and of course, more rewatches. Until then, keep the remote close, the memories closer, and always be kind. Rewind and press play again. Bye, roomies.
Bye. Roll the credits. Press play again. 2 roommates, 1 remote is fully DIY. Editing, us. Producing, also us. Recording, yep, still us. Posting it everywhere, shockingly, us again. 2 roommates, 1 remote, 0 team. So please clap accordingly. Thank you very much.